Hey,
Can you hear us, Joseph?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I have.
Great.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good to go. Welcome, everyone.
Okay, we're
Apologies,
good to go.
we ran into some technical difficulties. But without further ado, going to hand it off to Stefan and Joseph with Truflation.
Okay. So.
Okay, do you want to go, Joseph, or shall I go
Trueflation
first? I'll
first?
just do an
Yeah.
intro.
Let me go first, and then you can handle the Q&A. Okay. So my name is Joseph Wang, and I'm here with Stefan Rust, and we're here to present the Trueflation Marketplace. And so the name of our company is powering the blockchain with economic data. So just a few introductions. First of all, don't panic, have fun. This is a hackathon. Just do what you need to do in order to have a good time. This is just fun for everybody. So the place to start, which is the center for our system, is marketplace.trueflation.com. We will have a Discord on that Discord channel, and we have a person monitoring our marketing person. Natalia does a very good job of monitoring this, and we have devs that are in there. So we'll have devs available both Hong Kong, U.S. time, and somebody monitoring it basically 24/7. So a bit about myself. I'm an astrophysicist with a doctorate in supernova radiation hydrodynamics. I'm still working on some supernova systems for particle physics, and I like to think that I'm unfortunately born 2 or 3 centuries too early. So I've lived through 3 revolutions so far. One is microcomputers, one is web, and now this is the 3rd revolution I've been in, technology revolution I've been in, cryptocurrencies and blockchain. And in order to just get by, I worked at JP Morgan and Halliburton, and I babysat their supercomputers, and I got interested in Bitcoin and blockchain about a decade ago. And the thing that I'm interested in is how do we take all this data and just do a better way of doing finance? Because if you look at the world today, I'm not satisfied with how everything's going. We're monitoring inflation, prices are going up, opportunities are going down. We have to do something about it. And I happen to be like a technological optimist, and I think somehow, some way, technology is going to improve our lives. And my work on Trueflation with Stefan is part of trying to figure out what we can do to make the world a better place. And it's fun, it's exciting, and it's going to take some time. So where we are with blockchain is we're still at the very early stages of a new revolution. So I think of where we are with microcomputers in 1973 or the internet in 1990. And the good news is that there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of like weird stuff going on in blockchain. But the reason I like working with Chainlink and the reason I like working with Truflation is that we're going past the hype and we're designing real systems. I mean, they're fuzzy on the edges. They don't work the way we want, but they're there and we're making them better. But we're not quite there yet because one of my memories is in 1978 when I was, I think, 8 years old, and I got my hands on my first TRS-80 Model 1. And I started programming BASIC. And the other thing that I kind of remember is back when my kids, right, discovered the web and they just started programming HTML and doing stuff with hamsters. And so very shortly, with your help and my help, we'll get to the stage where like 6-year-olds and 8-year-olds will get excited about blockchain and start programming stuff. We're not there yet, but we're trying. One reason we're here is we want to get to that point where kids are programming this stuff. So a bit about Truflation. Truflation exists because the way that we're doing finance traditionally just isn't working. And with all this data source, all this data out there, right, we're getting inflation just every month. And that's silly. I mean, we should be getting like inflation. I mean, we've got all this data. We should be getting inflation every minute, right? But we've gotten ourselves to the point where we can put out a daily index. We use 40 data sources. We're we're very transparent about where we're getting the data from, how we're processing the data, and we're getting data points from like just orders of magnitude more than what the government's doing. And this is an example of the type of data that we need to make available for everybody to get at so that we can just do cool stuff. So this is an example of how we're aggregating the data. We're taking data from all these different sources. We're putting it through a number crunching, getting out some indexes. Right now we have 6 data types, 2 countries, US and UK. We're doing this daily. And then we've got it available for people that are more comfortable with Web 2.0. We've got it in CSV, we've got it in standard APIs. But for the people on this list, in this group, blockchain's the future. Crypto's the future. So once we've got all the data sorted out and put together, we put it onto through the Chainlink mechanism. We have it so that it's on 4 blockchains, and we're looking at putting it on every blockchain that we can. So here are some of our users in Web3. They're a diverse set of users, but what they're doing is they're taking daily inflation data and doing stuff with it. And the reason why they need us is because inflation is happening so fast, it's happening so many different categories that you just can't wait a month to use the BLS data. By the time you have the data, the official government data, it's already too late to do anything about it. So a lot of the guys that are working with us are Web3 people. They're doing new, creative, original things with inflation. We've got people that are doing stable coins. We've got people that are issuing bonds. We've got people that are doing prediction markets. And we're really, really open to anybody who's got some cool ideas about what to do with our data. And it's not just inflation data. So one of the things that we have to do is we've got the data, we've got it in one place. We have to just push it out for people. And once we push out our data, we can push out like all sorts of data. And so what we've built is a Truflation marketplace. And this is a place where you can find data that's available. We're setting it up so that you can add your own data to this marketplace. And then with a standard interface, you can connect to it via a smart contract. And so most of the talk today is going to be very, very technical about like the nitty-gritty details of how to connect a smart contract with our marketplace. So right now what's on the marketplace is we started with our indices. So we have the general US index, the general UK index. We have a whole bunch of like sub-indices. We have a lot of NFTs. So we're tracking the price of NFTs, and so we've got music NFTs, and that's in our system. So what we're doing right now for the hackathon is that we're releasing some new sets of data. So the sets of data that we're releasing during the hackathon are commodities data, so prices about sugar, corn, soybeans. We're also releasing on sports scores, and there's also a whole bunch of climate data that's coming out. So one of the reasons to keep track of the Discord is we're pushing the data out as quickly as we can. If there's some data that I've mentioned that's not immediately available on the marketplace, just let us know on the Discord, and we'll get to you as soon as we can. But we're really, really burning the midnight oil just to get all the data QC'd and all the stuff available so that you can have it and have fun with it. All right, so let's help us build the future. So what you can do with this hackathon is 3 things. You can just imagine stuff. What we want are new ideas. And if we can't do it with the technology that we have, we want you to imagine us and push us to get you the technology that you need in order to build cool stuff. So if you don't have any tech ability, but you have some background, just look at the data that we have and just think of some crazy thing that you can do with it. Talk about it on our Discord server, talk about on Telegram, and we can use the feedback. If we can find a way of getting you the data, we'll get it to you. And so we need users to just push us. We're all trying to push the frontiers, and we need like a cheering section to come up with new crazy stuff so that we can get the stuff to you. Now, the other thing that we need are builders. So there's a lot of like nitty gritty kind of really, really yucky stuff to connect wires together. And we need people to author smart contracts on the marketplace and feedback on how to make our tools better. Now, as much as everything that we can put online, we're putting and making open and transparent. So we've got all our, I think all of our code dealing with smart contracts and sort of the internal processing, our APIs, we're making that as public as we possibly can. And the reason we're making this public is that we want feedback, we want critique, we want people to like build on our software, we want people to tell us what we're doing wrong and what we're doing right, so we can make this a better place. And so we want to partner with people. So we want to publish your data, we want to get requests for your data, and there are some really, really fascinating, deep programming, really yucky issues that we're trying to solve and which everybody are trying to solve. And I'll get into some of these later in the talk, but we need some sort of deep thinking so that we can figure out how to build the new system. So let me go to the marketplace, give you a presentation. So I'll share the screen, and here's the marketplace. So I have it connected to our my wallet. So what happens is that on one side is the data that we have. So right now we have CPI data, we have NFT data, we have data from DeFi Llama. We're working on getting climate data from Declimate and Hyphen, and we have commodities data, and we're getting sports data. And the later four of these things are they're in the oven. We're going to roll them out during the hackathon, and so just get on our Discord server and watch what's going on. So the way that the system works is that there are some a standard set to call these services. So when you discover the data right, you can actually say, go to CPI data and say, I want the US CPI, and then we got the current inflation index. And so what the current inflation index does is it will fill up the form on the right-hand side that has like what you need to put in your smart contract in order to get that data. So one of the things that you can do just to test out the smart contract is to hit Run API. And when you run API, what it will do is it will connect with the blockchain. You'll send it some link. And what will happen is that you send it the amount of link that you want to pay. It will actually calculate the price of the data, and then if you paid extra, it will return that data. So now that we're waiting for the blockchain to approve, the next thing that it will do is it will go ahead. Oops, nope, I don't have enough Ethereum, but so I'll go through the system because it turns out I don't have enough Ethereum on my contract. But what it will then do is it will, no, I do have, okay. So what it will do is it turns out I did have enough Ethereum. So it's now sending a request to the back end. And as soon as the request gets finished, what happens is that it will connect with our servers, it'll get the data, it will process the data, and it will come back. And because of latency, it might take some time, and so I'll let the thing run. So once you've tested it out with the API tester, the next step is that we've got a sample smart contract, and the sample smart contract is the key parts of it are do request or do transfer and request. And so what do request does is that if you're doing a contract where you're paying for the Ethereum, you take the items here, the service, the key path name, the multiplier, and the data request, and then you will connect it fill it into the smart contract. The other thing that you can do is you can actually have a fee where it charges the remote user for a fee. You fill in this data here, and then it will refund an excess fee back to the user. So let me see. The contract is still. I think it may be that I didn't have enough Ethereum in my wallet, but I will check to see. Yeah, I believe the problem is that that I have. Yeah, I think the problem is I may have too little Ethereum to the request. But once you've done this, let me show you some of the other things that are available on the web page. So we have a set of diagnostics. So one of the diagnostics is just echo. What this will do is it will send just a ping to the Ethereum, our Chainlink server, and we'll get a message back. And so what will happen is that when you click Run API and you put a data request, okay, I want to send in this data request, then the web server will send back this number, and you can actually test the connection with the web server. So the other things that are available are a HTTP bridge. So if you have something that's available on the web, for example, here's a currency thing that returns JSON files. So what you can do is that you can use the bridge to get to any sort of public data that's on the web. So here we have two examples. We're interested in helping people create more examples. The two examples we have that show you how to do this are to get the currency exchange rate for euros and United Arab Emirates dinar, and another thing will query the Google API and get information about publication dates of books. And the final thing that we have is a math engine. So one of the things that you can't do on the blockchain is to do very complicated calculations. So when I was working at the bank, we did like all sorts of crazy calculations with Monte Carlo and partial differential equations and neural nets and stuff. So what we've added is eventually we want to make it so that with the marketplace you can do any calculation that you want. But just as a starter, we have a simple thing where you can actually square a number. Here's an example of taking the number 3 and squaring it, sending it onto the, doing the calculation off chain, and then doing something on the blockchain. So we have the ability to take the number, square it, and then put it back in a format that the blockchain can use. And then we can also do like derivatives and integrals, and this uses the Nerdhammer math engine. So anything that's available, there's sines, cosines, square roots. You can now do that on the blockchain, which is cool for a math geek like me. So let me go back to the oops. Okay, so now that I've shown the blockchain, let me so some ideas for projects are data analysis. And one of the things that that's interesting about data analysis is that because we've got a math engine, you can actually do very complicated maths with our system, which you couldn't do before. We've got pulling in other data sources. So we're going to have loaded into our system commodities and sports data. We can also use the HTTP bridge to get data from anything else that's available on the web. And one of the interesting things that somebody could work on and try to make a bunch of money on is to take all this stuff and try to make an algo trading bot. So one of the ideas, and I'm just talking off the top of my head, is that since you can figure out a way of getting Google hits, right? You can then look at Google hits, mix it with inflation data, do some analysis on our math engine, and then issue a smart contract command on a decentralized exchange. So we can also do things with personal finance. For example, now that we have inflation available with different categories, we can actually try to you can have the ability to put together all this stuff with your Web3 thing, and we can also do crowdsource data and expectations. And we're also looking for people that are interested in being a bad guy. So if you think you can think of a way of breaking our systems, just let us know, because we'd rather like friendly people find problems with what we're doing before the real bad guys find it. And so for advanced blockchain guys, I'll post these APIs onto the Discord server. So we have the source code for most of the stuff on Marketplace. We have a Web3 interface on Truflation TFI API, and we've done some really interesting stuff with the Chainlink infrastructure. So we have taken a lot of the Chainlink infrastructure that's was on the Chainlink server, and we've put it into the API. So we're part of what we can do is we're doing calculations that are hard to do on the node server, and I'm be very, very glad to show people up, but it's on the API adapter. So there's some general issues that I'd like people to think about from a developer point of view. And so if you ask what the pain point is for a developer, it's just moving data into and out of the blockchain. So to be honest, I don't like the way that the marketplace handles it right now. You have to like go to this page, you have to move stuff in, you have to combine stuff from several pages. And I'd like to work with you guys to come up with a better solution. I mean, it should be easy enough so that my cousins who are in first grade can just click and drag and get everything to work. And I'm trying to get it to that point, but we're not there yet. We want to get to that point. We're doing the best we can, and anything that you can do to help us out with figuring out how to move data into and out of the blockchain will help. The other thing that's a general problem is error handling, and this is a problem not just with our system. It's not a problem with Chainlink, but it's a problem with blockchain in general. So you send out a message, something bad happens. You don't have enough Ethereum. The server goes down. Right now, we're trying to find better ways of making it easier for developers to track down what's going on. And we'd like to do more integrations. We've got it integrated with Remix. We'd like to make it more integrated with Truffle, with Hardhat. And as we're discussing these things, we can go on Discord and discuss how we can help each other make these things. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to do hard things, but we want to do it once. The nice thing about open source, the nice thing about blockchain, the nice thing about code in general that excites me is that you have to do all these like grungy, boring, nasty bits, but you don't have to do it once. So once we put together our APIs, we put together the marketplace, we put together the adapters, you can just build on top of what we have. And then once we build new stuff that you're coming in with the hackathon, we'll just put it in this pool of open source software, and we'll help each other. So we're going to have to go do some nasty stuff, but we just have to do it once. And then there's some broader issues, right? So one of the things that is a big issue is, okay, we all need to pay the rent, we all need to eat. So how do we split the money? So if you come up with this new cool idea, right, you should get some of it. The people that help you with the open source should get some of it. The people that deliver it should get some of it. And so one of the things that we're trying to work through is how we fairly and openly and transparently split the money. And so the nice thing about blockchain is you can actually see who's getting the money, where we're getting the money. And so we're having this discussion about, okay, how do we set our business model so that people are incentivized to do good stuff. And so the other thing is that I'm a tech geek. I love this blockchain stuff. I love crypto, but all of us know that we're kind of a small chosen group of people. A lot of people are just scared to death of this stuff. You mentioned blockchain, you mentioned new stuff. It just scares them. And the thing about them is that we have to realize that we're in a world where things have got to change. We can't do things the way we've done it before because the ways that we've done it before don't work. But people are scared of change. And so part of what we have to do as people that are on the cutting edge of technology is to make it, we want to make life as easy for the people that are following us so that they feel comfortable with this, that they gradually adapt to the new world that we're creating. And that is something that I'd like to talk to people about how to do, how to convince people that this is the way to go without scaring them. So that's all for me. I think Stefan, if you've got anything to add, we can see if there are any questions out there.
No, nothing to add. I think the only thing I would say is that, unfortunately, you gave a great demo, and I think somehow we didn't manage to see the whole marketplace. So I think, the power of that marketplace was just the fact that we could actually, let me see if I can quickly share that with everybody here. Just from the beginning, maybe you want to sort of take it in. I'm not going to connect my wallet, but you can see here that we've made it super easy for any developer to discover the types of different, it's not sharing my screen now, is it? No, it's sharing a different screen. So I can't somehow seem to share the tab. Anyway, we'll leave that.
Okay. Well, we can have people. We can have people go to the market, play around.
Exactly. We've just made it really easy for developers to either search, discover, find a Oracle data that you can then use, and really easy to give you TypeScript that you can then embed in your your IDE. So whatever you want, it's all there. And there's some great ideas that people have come up with, from tokenizing football stars to creating, you've seen some of the ideas from the last hackathon, creating lotteries, doing prediction markets. What else could we do? And how could we mix and match that data? What other synthetic tokens could we create? Could you mix coffee with the price of shipping, with the weather impact? How do we mix that together? Could we create a green bond that, based on weather data, or capture of satellite information, how is a company performing? All of those interesting things that could be created off the back of some of this data.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm encouraging people to do is the marketplace. The marketplace is just starting, and so we want, like, the world of data. We want the marketplace to be where people go to get data onto the blockchain. And so anything that's not there, right? It's just we're just setting up shop right now. But anything that's not there that you need for the hackathon, just talk to us and we'll see how we can get it there. Okay. So
cool. Well, thanks a lot, Joseph and Stefan. Always great to see you. As I mentioned here in the chat, we have a fireside chat with Stefan in London on October 27th, so coming up in a few days. If you're in London, if you have friends in London, definitely join us for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you're saying, I think it's just very interesting, all the different data points that you can gather with Trueflation, and then the products that you can be able to create from it.
So one of the things is that we've tried to make it as easy, the blockchain programming, as easy as possible. But blockchain programming is still not as easy as it should be. But one of the things that's useful for the smart contract that we have is that if anybody's just learning blockchain programming, I come from a teaching background, and I just like to get people involved in technology. So if somebody this is their first smart contract, just go on Discord, ask questions. They don't have to be about our specific Trueflation. They can be like, I love answering questions about, like, how to get blockchain working. because I've been through the difficulty of climbing the mountain, and once I figure out how to do something, I like to set a path for the people behind me. So one of the things that we've tried to do is to make it so that somebody who's reasonably knows like web development, knows a little HTML, knows a little programming, and wants to get into like Web 3, from Web 2 to Web 3, they can use the stuff in our GitHub, and if it doesn't make any sense, just ask us a question, and I'll be more than happy to answer
Awesome.
questions about blockchain.
Yeah, that's
Because
great. Drop in the GitHub.
I love the technology. I love the technology.
Yeah, and hackathons are a great way to get those people from the next step to the next step, and drop in those links so that everyone that's listening in can see those GitHub links. Just Trueflation dev, and you'll be able to be all set. And I'm sure if people have questions, they can come into the Discord and join your Discord as well. Correct.
Also, my GitHub username is Joe Quant. So I have some of the stuff that I'm doing for Truflation. I've also got some of the stuff I'm doing in particle physics. so if there any budding particle physics out there, and I mean, one of the things I'm thinking about is look, how do we combine inflation data with Higgs boson particle physics data? I mean, that's the stuff I like to think about. So if anybody has any crazy ideas on how that works, just I'd be happy to chat.
Fascinating. Well, hey, always great talking with your team. And yeah, here's a link to Joe Quant. So if you're interested with physics and combining that with crypto, so definitely join and start talking with these guys. And otherwise, thank you both so much for joining us this morning. And if anyone has questions about the build program, definitely reach out to either one of our Discords, Telegrams. It's going to be a great opportunity also with the projects that you're building throughout this hackathon. So I'm excited for the future and everything that you guys are doing. And thank you guys again for.
And I'm actually not. I'm looking forward to just not just the Trueflation stuff, but I mean, there's just cool stuff people are doing with Chainlink. I mean, just really amazing stuff.
Well, definitely appreciate your team support, and definitely follow their Twitter, follow Truflation's Discord, Telegram. All the links will be in the description after this. Make sure to give the video a like, and thank you all for joining, and have a good rest of your day, and keep hacking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.